In this video, I am in the process of setting up some trades on the cable at the pound dollar. So first of all, I have a buy to open trade if the price pulls back and hits this trend line. So I'll buy to open if I have no open position, 100k lot. So as before, if the price bounces along the support trend line, because I've said if no open position, I will only buy once. If the price then rallies, I have set up a trade that will sell to close when the price hits this resistance trend line. And that will only happen if I'm in a long position. So if I manually close out my position, it will not trigger. In case the trade does not work out as planned and the price pulls back, if the 1 hour candle falls below this trend line, I'm going to switch from a buy, from a long position, into a short or into a sell position. So to do that, I have set up a sell switch trade, which sells to close any long position I may have and then sells to open a short position. If I do not have a long position, then I will only sell to open a short position. So this rule is set to execute if I'm not short. So that means if I have no position or if I'm in a long position, this rule will execute. So the next rules that I'm going to set up is if the price breaks through this support trend line, I want to set up some trades that will close out that short position. So if we take a look again at this sell switch, on event, as in when the alert triggers, I'm going to pause the active alerts, these two, and then I'm going to activate some paused alerts that I'm now going to set up, and the paused alerts will be used to close out any short position when the time comes or if it happens. So the first trade setup will be if the price pulls back to, shall we say, use this as a point of support. So if the price pulls back and hits this support trend line, I will close out any short position. So I'm going to set this trade up. So the minute it happens, I want to close out the position. Rather than get an alert, I want to test this trading strategy. I'm using the Capital Forex trading platform to simulate this trade. So I shall buy to close because I'm going to be in a short position. Close out 100k lot. Only execute if short, and then I will pause active alerts. So this is only going to happen once. So in summary, if the price breaks this upper trend line, I will switch to a short position. If it hits the lower support trend line, I will close that short position, and only do that if I'm short. So that means if another rule executes which closes the position, it will not execute. This one will not do anything. And then I'm going to pause all active rules that may be running at that point in time and decide on my next trading strategy. So I shall pause this. Now in case the price does not hit this lower support trend line, I'm going to put a rule in place whereby if the price or if the moving average forms a positive MACD crossover, so I'm going to add the MACD indicator. So what I'm looking for is the price to break through support, something like this, and then I will stay in a short position until there's a positive MACD crossover or I hit the trend line. So let's set that up. So I have a MACD positive crossover based on a 1 hour interval, and the MACD indicator uses the selected interval on the chart. So this is a 1 hour interval. I will buy to close 100k position. I'm going to leave it at market because I don't know what the limit price will be at that future point in time. only execute if short. So if the trend line trade executes first, then this trade will not execute. And as before, I will pause the active alerts and then decide what to do next at that point in time. So I'm just going to pause this now. So now I have 5 rules in total set up. I have a rule to get me into the position, get me out if the price then rallies from there. If the price pulls back, I will switch to a short position. I am using a 1 hour interval trend line alert because I want a definite indication of a change of trend before switching to a short position. I then have 2 rules set up that would close out any short position I may have in the event that this trend line is broken.